Alright, so in previous videos we discussed how to start from the ground up and build our campaigns from the bottom of our funnel first, and then go to the middle of the funnel, and then finally let's end at the top of the funnel. And just to recap, the reason that is so important is because if you start at the top of the funnel, you're going to be sending people through your funnel without anything to help pull them down towards a purchase. So your conversion rate, your bottom line conversion rate is going to be much lower than if you had some campaigns in the middle and at the bottom of the funnel to help pull people down through and turn them into buyers. Otherwise, many of those people will never think of you again and they'll never complete the purchase. So if you haven't started with the bottom of the funnel, if you haven't done that and then gone on to the middle of the funnel, don't waste your time watching this video, or at least don't implement the video. You can watch if you want to get a bird's eye view of how to do it, but don't bother implementing it until you have figured out and implemented the bottom of funnel and the middle of funnel first. Alright, now having said that, let's jump into top of the funnel. And I've kind of just taken this graphic on the top left and expanded it over here so you can get to give you more of a bird's eye view. Okay, so top of the funnel is people that are completely cold to your business. They don't know you, they've never heard of you, or at least they haven't thought about you in a very long time, even if they have been exposed to you in the past. Those are considered cold prospects. Someone that is, if they were to come to your website right now, it's very unlikely that they would actually complete the purchase. And so what we have to do is try to get them into our funnel, get people to raise their hand, so to speak, and trigger them in a sense so that they can tell us, hey, I'm interested in your product, I'm interested in what you have to say, you should keep marketing to me. All right? And that's what happens all at the top of the funnel. Once they do that, once they trigger, then they fall down into the funnel based on the level of activity that they engage in with us. They either fall to the middle of the funnel or they might fall straight down to the bottom of the funnel. But people at the top of the funnel are, again, people who don't know us, they don't know our company, they don't know our products, or at least it's been a very long time since they thought about us and we're trying to re-engage them. And the way we do that is with these triggers. You can use a few different options. You could try a giveaway, you could try a lost leader, or you could try my personal favorite, which is content. Now, giveaways is a pretty much surefire way to get engagement and get people interacting with your posts. However, it doesn't always translate. That crowd doesn't always translate well into actual buyers. People who are interested in giveaways aren't always interested in actually purchasing from you. So you have to be careful with giveaways. It may play well with your brand or your particular products, but actually may not. This may be something to test, but don't get sucked into the engagement trap where you're seeing a lot of engagement from giveaways and therefore you think it must be a good campaign. If it doesn't eventually drive people to purchase, then it's not worth the spend. But consider giveaways. You could do something where you're giving away a bundle of products or at least a chance at a bundle of products in exchange for an email address is one way to do it. You could also use the lost leaders trigger. A lost leader is a product in your portfolio that is inexpensive and doesn't cost a lot of money. It's something that you could either give away for free or something that you could sell for a very low amount and maybe tack on shipping costs or something to help recoup your costs. And you either sell it at a small loss or you sell it at a break-even price just to get people into your funnel. Now, if you have a wide assortment of products and you have the type of product that people come back and buy repeatedly, like for example, if it's a custom photo product, you're going to get people coming back over and over again because photos always change. People grow up, people change, etc. and so forth, so they need new pictures. So using a lost leader in that type of scenario makes a whole lot of sense because you could get someone into your ecosystem, your funnel, with a very cheap and inexpensive product that gets them to trigger and raise their hands. If you're selling high-end products or you're selling products that don't typically result in repeat customers, then a lost leader doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But just think of it in terms of your business. If it makes sense, then definitely try it. Now, content is my favorite. Why is my favorite? Because content is a way to get people to show interest without asking them to give you money and without requiring you to either give something away or lose money on a sale. So an example of this might be an article or a video, some kind of content that relates to products that you sell. Let's go back to the custom photo products. If you're selling custom photo products, maybe you could offer a video course that teaches people how to take good pictures on a cell phone. Something like that, some kind of content that will engage people that they can actually use You don't even have to ask for anything. Don't even have to ask for an email address if you don't want. Just something to get people to raise their hands and say, yes, I'm interested in that. And because they're interested in that, there's a very good chance they're interested in your products, because it's going to be content that relates to your products. Now, once someone has raised their hand, or in other words, they've triggered in some way using one of these three methods up here, you can let them fall into the rest of your funnels that you've already created, the middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel. The middle of the funnel is retargeting those who have raised their hand. You can use sequenced content, you can use branding, education, humor, and offer. You can kind of mix things up, but you need to try to nurture them from the middle of the funnel down to the bottom of the funnel. And at the bottom of the funnel, it's the people who have come very close to completing the purchase. And so abandon cart and initiate checkout, things like that. We're trying to push them through to the rest of the funnel. You can also target people who actually purchased already with additional offers strategically. Like if they buy one product that has a similar product, that often goes well together. And if they didn't buy both of them, then you could remarket to them with that secondary product, trying to get them to become a second time customer. Now this little portion, you need to have a kind of a hole in your funnel, so to speak. And this hole it serves a very important function. It's to allow people to fall out of your funnel. In other words, if there are people who make it through the middle of the funnel and the bottom of the funnel after a certain amount of time and they don't actually complete the purchase, then you need to let them fall out. And you need to let them fall out for a period of 2 to 6 months, depending on your business. What that means is, we don't want to keep serving ads over and over again to the same people that aren't going to convert. And so instead of hammering them over and over again and wasting our ad spend, we're going to let those people fall out. We're not going to allow our trigger ads to show to them, and we're not going to allow our middle of funnel or bottom of funnel campaigns to show to them unless they re-engage with us in some way. Maybe they respond to an email, or maybe they come looking for us on their own. And if they do that, then they can pick up where they left off, so to speak, in this part of the funnel. The way you do that is by setting up an audience of people who have triggered with one of your methods up here at the top within a certain time frame, say for the past 4 months. And you would exclude that audience from your trigger ads. So your top of funnel ads are going to exclude anyone who has visited the site or visited the trigger page, anything along those lines within the past 6 months, or whatever interval you choose here. Maybe you only want them to fall off for 2 months, or maybe you want them to fall off for the maximum amount, which is 6 months. That's the longest audience length you can have on Facebook, 180 days. But regardless, you want to allow those people who don't convert to fall out of the funnel so that we don't keep hitting them at the top of the funnel and wasting our ad spend on them. So audiences you'll need. Now at the top of the funnel, you're going to need some good lookalike audiences. And good lookalike audiences are built on your customers, people who have purchased from you. Facebook also has an LTV lookalike audience, which has done well for me in the past. You could also build a lookalike audience on people who are repeat purchasers, and you'd want to use those up here at the top of the funnel, because those are the kinds of people that you want to get into your funnel. People who meet that criteria, the same demographic data points, but who have never purchased from you or probably have never heard of you before. So use those lookalike audiences, or use interest-based targeting. If you can narrow down some interests that you know your people, your prospects have in common, then you can use that. You can even pair the two together. You can take a lookalike audience that's built around purchasers, and then you can layer in interests on top of that, and that can give you kind of a really dialed in audience to target at the top of your funnel. Now, one thing to keep in mind is at the top of the funnel, it's really hard to turn a profit right off the bat. It just depends on what you're selling. It depends on who you're marketing to and how good you are at marketing. But don't be totally discouraged if your top of funnel campaigns aren't profitable from the very get-go. The fact is, most businesses need this middle of funnel and bottom of funnel marketing to close that gap and make it so that it's worth doing the top of funnel marketing. So if you can get a 50% to 100% return on ad spend at the top of the funnel, generally you're doing a pretty good job. Stick with it, let those people roll through the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel, and if you do well there and your site converts well, it'll be well worth it to do the top of funnel marketing. Alright, so that's top of funnel marketing in a nutshell, and that's exactly how I set up top of funnel marketing on Facebook. If you have any questions or comments or ideas, feel free to let us know. Thanks for watching.